One of the things I learned a lot about was around the reopening of the Port-au-Prince branch. So we reopened the Port-au-Prince branch, I remember it was on the 19th, so exactly 1 week after the earthquake. And the great thing was that Dominique was being a cashier and I was orienting clients left and right. A lot of people who had maybe in the beginning of their career been working at, you know, at the cashier level of Fonkoze, who had grown, everybody was pitching in to call the branches to make sure the transfer could get through. So it was really a collective effort to make that happen. And I think it's been, for me, a huge learning experience on how a branch functions. Because, you know, I was being like thrown in there, had to organize.
This was outside, you understand?
It was in the courtyard, because the branch, and every now and again we still have these little tremors, and that house is in terrible shape. So everybody went woo, and everybody jumped back, and then we went back to where.
And you need to see the IT system there at the branch.
You see, James, the guy who talked yesterday at the Mass, I think during the first 2 or 3 weeks, this guy was in such a drive, like he said himself, to make himself useful. He really took a number of risks. Mm-hmm. He would go up the roof of a house to get the antenna, to install the antenna on the neighbor's house, and then get wires down to the courtyard of where we are to make sure we had internet. The internet was like... The amazing thing was, after the first day we only had 30 or 40 people in because we didn't spread the word. We wanted to test the systems out. After a couple of days, we had like 200, 300 people a day. The cashier who was there, who's someone who works normally as a cashier in the branch, she says she'd never seen that number of people on a day in the branch. And the great thing was that people were in these long, long lines, being very quiet and very disciplined, and we did not have any security concern at all. In the beginning. Later on it became a bit more iffy because we would every now and again see shady figures who were trying to find out what was happening. But in the beginning, no security issues whatsoever.
If you allow me, the people didn't come to make withdrawal. Most of them, it was for deposits.
Really? There was a lot of transfers. There were a lot of transfers. The other thing also was that quickly Anne found the temporary headquarters you saw yesterday, so that we could start working a bit more normally, because there's this whole having to work on a corner of a bench with your laptop on your knees. I mean, it's nice for a couple of days, but it's trying because you can't concentrate the way you would want. So finding these headquarters was really when I had the feeling like, okay, now we're back on our knees, we can get back to a bit of a normal way of working. And I remember Anne saying that we need 15 or 20 people in here. And now it's like, in my office, I mean, it's a little group, and there's 4 or 5 people in there. And we have temporary offices for the moment. But it's one of the big challenges going forward, is to find good head office buildings where we can settle in more sustainably. Regarding the branch houses, we have 42 offices. Of the 42, we will actually need to replace, in the report it says 8. Right now it's actually 10, the information I have since yesterday. And some of them it's because they're completely destroyed, like the Bizoton branch. The Bizoton branch is actually the only one that really totally collapsed, and where we haven't been able to recuperate neither the safe nor the files of the clients. No, that one we've lost completely. All the others, we've managed to, you know, salvage things that were inside. But we still need to replace them. And then there's another bunch, like the Mirbalais, Diokai, and the Marigot offices, that are damaged, that could be repaired, but these buildings had problems before the 12th of January. Either because, like the Mirbalais branch office, it was too small before the 12th of January, so we're not going to invest in a building that's too small for us. We might as well look for another one at the same time.